that an X? Is that an O? So sports talk? Yeah. Let's go. I got my swag.
Waggy. Oh, T got the moves. All right.
Yeah, man. Got my swag back. Swag. Swagoo sauce.
Swaggy .2.
Yeah.
The
Swaggy tea.
Oh, yeah. So none of that dancing and lip syncing here, folks. That will be
folks.
Emerson's lane.
Yeah. All the way live here, folks. All the way live.
Definitely. So first of all, we got to give a shout out to our fellas that are not here. A couple of them had to work, do some opportunities, heat wave, probably in the pool, doing a little bit of all that. So, but we, they're still representing. They're on vacation or if they're working. But yes, me and T holding it down for now.
They'll hold it down, as they say. As Malcolm was saying, next man up. So we're stepping up. We got the two amigos tonight, or if you want to call us Tom and Jerry, Ben and Jerry, Mike and Scotty, Batman and Robin, whatever you want to call us tonight. We're doing it. 2-man crew.
Like the Mike and Scotty. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like to
Yeah.
So yes, we want to thank everybody for being here. And I just want to say on the part of XO Sports, we would like to thank all our viewers and listeners for their support. We're currently streaming on all podcast platforms. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to click and get this, tap that notification bell.
Yep, definitely tap it. Don't be gentle. Be gentle.
It'll be greatly appreciated, and also it'll let you know when we're streaming live on here. And also feel free to join in on the conversation, whether it be in the comment section, you can join in, and also you can call in at 475-221-5006. So thank you all.
Yep. So how you doing tonight, man? How you doing tonight, Brian?
I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. That heat wave is crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's hot outside. It's hot. It's not the type of hot where you put the top down in a convertible.
Yeah,
it's hot for that.
Yep,
not gonna get cool doing it that way.
Looking cool, that is windows up, AC on. Yep.
Yep.
And that was me. Yep, AC on.
Exactly.
So that was definitely me. So also we want to give a congratulations to Miss Rachel Robinson, the wife of the late great Jackie Robinson, who turned 100 years old today on July 20th, I should say. So yep. I want to give her some flowers for that and everything that I'm sure she and Jackie endured during the time of him playing in the league, and for them, to open the doors for us as black men to be able to participate in the sports.
Oh, yeah.
So
Mrs. Robinson was born. She was born in 1922. So let's just say that she's seen a lot of history, a lot of American history, a lot of things take place in the history of America. I know she also founded the Jackie Robinson Foundation in 1973, which is a nonprofit organization that provides scholarships to minority youth for higher education. And, as the saying goes, behind every great man is a great woman or great woman. And Mrs. Rachel Robinson is just that.
Yeah.
So definitely.
So definitely want to give her something, little flowers out there.
Definitely. Congratulations, and here's to 100 more years.
Yeah. I love to say, give me some more. 100 more years, definitely.
But in the world of MLB, you know, we just we're just coming off the All-Star break, and games starting back up tonight in both the American League and the National League. But in terms of the All-Star break, we had the home run derby take place Monday, and man, first off, let me just say congratulations to Juan Soto, who run the home run derby. But you know, they said that this was going to be a show. As they say in baseball, dingers. They promised dingers, and we got a lot of those dingers. In total, the players put up 291 home runs. There were 31 home runs that traveled at least 450 feet. They had 2 home runs in the Derby that traveled at least 480 feet. One by Pete Alonso and the other one by Juan Soto. And then there were 33 home runs that left off the bat at like 110 miles an hour or greater. So, you know, Pete Alonso came up short this go around. He could have been back-to-back winner of the Derby, but he came up a little short. But hey, you know, he tried. And Albert Pujols, he made it to the next round. A lot of people didn't expect him to do well.
I was one of them.
You know, I was curious to see what he was going to do, and you know, he did well. I mean, he made it to the next round. Let's put it this way: he did a lot better than what I would have done. So,
yeah, that's true.
You know, congratulations. In terms of the All-Star game, the American League pulled it out. They won the game 3-2. I think this is their 9th time winning the All-Star game straight in a row. So congratulations to the American League, and it's looking like the NL or the National League is going to have to step their game up a little bit to pull out a win next year, hopefully. And as far as the All-Star game MVP, Giancarlo Stanton won the MVP. He had a home run in that game. It was I think it was a 2-run blast to left center field. I think he hit it like 457 feet, something like that. And it was one of the hardest hit home runs in the All-Star game since 2015, or at least since they've been tracking that stat. So again, MLB action is back on tonight. We're coming out of that All-Star break. It's going to be interesting to see what teams are going to be getting into the playoffs and making that championship run. So
that second half run.
This is where it all counts now. So we'll see
if the Mets can stay in it, or if they hold up. Hopefully not. Like,
I'm pulling for him. That's the team I picked at the beginning of the season. So
you had the Mets, really?
Yeah, man. Wow. I was on that Mets bandwagon last year.
Wow.
You know?
Shoot. Take you down to Vegas, man.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the Orioles.
On the win streak.
I don't know if anybody put money down on the Orioles, but they're trying to make a run. In the AL, so look out for them.
Yeah.
You know,
I forgot how many games they won in a row.
Yeah, I forget, but I know it was double-digit numbers.
Yeah. Oh, let's see if they can keep that streak alive coming out.
Yeah, them, Seattle's looking good too.
Yeah.
So
I thought Seattle would be in the hunt somewhere around there. I thought they would. I think I picked Chicago. I did pick Chicago.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Yep, you did. We got that. We got that on Exo Sports episode. We'll get you guys the episode.
Yeah, the archives is not deleted. It's still there. Oh, I gotta give a quick shout out to Debbie Gamble, who was in the chat as well. What's up, Deb?
Hey, Deb, what's
Oh,
going on?
yep. Right now, you might be on the show.
Yeah, yeah, we need you. Next man up.
Yeah. Oh, to fill in the voids when they miss it, we got to get you in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks,
We
Deb.
Thanks for tuning in again, Deb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so now that we are coming out of that All-Star break, what players do you feel in the National League and American League that are kind of looking like front runners to win the MVP?
Me, I think looking in the National League, I'm looking at Paul Goldsmith. I'm thinking that he might be the front runner to come out as an MVP. Peter Alonso and also Manny Machado are making a good. They were making a good run before the break came. That they wanted to be in that conversation. With their team record, I don't know, but they definitely want to be in that conversation. It looks like. Then you got your two, which everybody's keeping their eyes on, and pretty much if you had to put bucks on it, they got these two. You got Aaron Judge, that before we went to break, he had 33 homers, so he's currently at that, and he's batting over 300. He had like 11 homers in May. So looking at that, I think he's definitely one of the ones that be a front runner. Ohtani, what he's doing is something that we haven't seen since Babe Ruth, so can't take that lightly. That's being a two-way player and doing it well is something that, like I said, we haven't seen in a very, very long time, and is very rare. So I think between those two, I think it'll probably be one of them. But I think those two are playing to see contract-wise of who's going to get the biggest contract, because they both are going to be up there. Exactly. 400 plus.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting with those two. And with the Judge, I thought it was a good decision for him not to be in the home run derby, especially being in a contract year. And you don't want to jeopardize that. You don't want to throw your timing off. You don't want to do anything to mess up the money. So
yeah, wow.
So yeah,
I didn't even think of that. You know what? You sound like a sports agent right now, man. That didn't even cross my mind. I guess maybe I was thinking the opposite. You have a good showing in the home run derby. That just kind of opens it up for me, for me to say, hey, show me the money. Yeah. Look at what I can do on the big stage, But yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that, because timing is everything in baseball.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't want to mess that up and go into a slump.
Yeah. So.
I think for me in the NL or National League, I'm picking Paul Goldsmith from the Cardinals to win it. He's having a not just a good season, he's having a great season. And I also agree with you in terms of the AL or American League. I feel like Aaron Judge, I mean, he started out really hot. And to me, I just thought he was going to run away with it. He kind of slowed down just a little bit, and Shohei Ohtani, he made a late run, kind of just playing outstanding, like right before the All-Star break. And I kind of got a feeling that he might pull it out and win it over Judge, just based off of the fact that he's doing something that hasn't been done since Babe Ruth. And that's a lot, man. That takes a lot of skill to play on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And to put up the numbers he's putting up, and perform on both sides of the ball the way he has. But I'm still pulling for Aaron Judge, though. I like him as a player. I like his personality as well. So I'm pulling for him, but I think Shohei is going to pull it out just based off of what he's doing on both sides of the ball.
Let me ask you a question, T.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, would you say is more valuable? With Ohtani being a two-way player or Judge being the player that he is?
That's funny. I was going to ask you something similar to that, but I'll say this. I think Shohei Ohtani is more valuable, in my opinion, because he can play on both sides of the ball. But I'll say some people may look at it as, or some teams, some owners may look at it as that being a bad thing, just because in terms of you playing on both sides of the ball, you have the potential to possibly, you're at more risk for injury, you know, playing on both sides of the ball. From, if I was an agent, I would definitely push that, and say, in terms of money, this is why my guy, Shohei Ohtani, should get top dollar, because look at what he can do.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's playing on both sides of the ball and he's okay pitching or okay at hitting. He's really good at both.
Yeah.
But I think from an owner standpoint and, you know, team standpoint, some teams may look at that and say, he's a little bit of a risk. I don't know if I want to give him that money, but other teams may look at it as, hey, this guy, because of what he does on both sides of the ball, he can bring in the fans, which brings in money and jersey sales and all that. So,
yeah. And you know what I want to say on that? Just the comparison between the two sports. Because if you think of Ohtani, like you said, teams may say this and say that, and he really, they'd be like, oh, he doesn't have a defined position or whatever. It always remind you of San Fran with Debo. How they almost, Debo, they try to devalue him when he's pretty much a jack of all trades, but you want to say, oh, he doesn't have a set position. But this is just like almost like that, but he's going to get that money. He's definitely going to get right there.
Oh yeah. It's just a matter, because the question I was going to ask you was similar. I was going to ask you, who do you think will get the most money? Will Ohtani get the most money just based off being a two-way player versus Judge, who, you know, is you know, he's just don't really want to say a one-way player, but he doesn't play on both sides of the ball, basically.
Yeah. And that's a really good question too, because the way I look at it is, if he's doing both, he should get the most.
Right.
Being able to do, like I said, both of them, and he's doing them extremely well. So to me, he's the most valuable in regards to what he should and should not get. Yeah. And I wonder, I mean, you brought up Deebo Samuels, you know, great player. You can put him anywhere on the field and he's going to make something happen. Yeah. But at some point, I feel like a team or the Niners are going to say, or they're going to have to say, we love what you're doing, but we can't risk, because of your talent, especially in the backfield, putting you at risk for getting hurt. And I wonder, at some point, do the Angels say, listen, we love you. We love that you know, can pitch and hit and do both of those things well, but we might have to, you know, make you just be a DH or a pitcher. Yeah. You know, and maybe that happens after he gets his, like you say, he's going to get paid. Yep. But, you know, if you look at it, you know, teams are looking financially, get the most bang for their buck. Yeah.
really doesn't matter to me if he's a two-way player. The fans are going to pay for his jersey. Either way, they're going to come see him play. So, but I wonder if at some point, like I said, will they say, hey, you need to make a decision? And it'd be interesting, right?
Yeah, that would be
that comes up.
Because I
maybe
wonder,
that comes up now.
Yeah. After, I think it'd be after he get his money, but yeah. Well, that is a good point, because I wonder if it would be the organization as a whole, whatever, if he wind up staying there, or will he take it upon himself and be like, hey, I can't do this for the long run. I gotta pick something and pick a position and do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we know pitching as a whole just takes a toll on your body by itself.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Talking Tommy John surgery.
Yeah. So he's still young, so you don't want that. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that'll come from organization, himself, or they come to a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree.
So as it stands today, you think Ohtani's going to get the most money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Judge will be not too far behind.
Yeah, and they probably both get like $500 million. I think it'd be a record breaker. Yeah, 500. Be the first time ever in any sport, if I'm correct, right? I don't think nobody ever means 500.
I don't. Not that I know.
Contract, yeah.
Again, to anybody tuning in or that watches this episode later, that's young kid, young man, young teenager, baseball, guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money. Yeah. and to let you even know, back in our day, it was A-Rod, and I think he got like 250. And that was a lot. Now, look where they at now.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Hit those batting cages.
Hit the batting cages.
Curveball, changeup.
Yep.
So,
that's the way to go.
Yep. We have just want to give a shout out to Jenny in the chat. I'm not gonna say your last name because I don't want to mess it up, but thank you for jumping in the chat.
What's up, Jenny?
Congratulating us on our 60th episode.
Oh,
appreciate that.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
60.
Good gravy. Yeah.
Yes.
Who would have ever thought that?
Never would have thought it.
Yeah.
As Biggie would say, it was all a dream.
Yeah. You look at episode 1, it was a dream, huh?
Yeah.
I remember trying to work all the equipment. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It was a dream. But thank you for joining in.
Yeah, thank you so much. And speaking of that first episode, we do have some bloopers that we will put together and put out on YouTube at some point.
Yes, indeed. And there's a lot of those, definitely.
Yeah, so tune into that because it's definitely funny. But I like to say that Exo Sports Talk would like to give our condolences to the family and friends of Charles Johnson, star wide receiver at Colorado and first round draft pick, 17th overall pick in the NFL draft of the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1994. Johnson passed away at the age of 50. His cause of death at the moment is still unknown. So
yeah,
definitely
young loss.
Yeah, definitely way too young. Like I said, condolences to the family.
Yes,
friends.
Definitely.
I think he came in, or he was 1994. Was that the year Cordell Stewart was there?
Yeah, I believe it was Cordell. I'm thinking who was the other wide receiver, but I can't think offhand.
Yeah, I can't think on that side, but I do remember that. I remember his name being called. He was a good wide receiver.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I remember Emerson talking about him. Colorado.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
for everybody tuning in, and all our listeners. Emerson is the Mel Kiper Jr. of the group.
Yes.
So he's always got a hot take on especially NFL, on a player coming out of college. So.
College? Oh yeah, he's Mel Kiper all day. This kid from Wagner, from all kind of little schools, Oh yeah. So yes, he is, man.
So Emerson, if you're tuning in or when you see the show, we're giving you your flowers now. So I don't want to hear nothing later.
Yeah, I have some spikes in them. Yeah.
Roses. But being that we are on the NFL, the 49ers give Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, permission to seek a trade.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Permission to seek a trade.
Yep. Well, I think he deserves at least that. Some would say that, he hasn't been treated the best by the organization. Even though they don't say things out loud, their actions sometimes kind of show that they may not value him. But who do you think could use him? Like, what team could use him at quarterback right now?
Well, it's being so late, getting ready for the season to start, the first thought is you would think, well, teams may wait, see if they get a quarterback that's injured or something like that. Mm-hmm. So just thinking of a couple of teams, I'm thinking the Giants may, because they have Danny Dimes, but he's on the last year of his contract. I don't really think they have faith in him. So they may let this season ride out, or if he starts off bad, or they may just say, you know what, we give up on you and we'll start with Jimmy G. So that's one team I'm looking at. Seattle, I think, makes sense, but I don't think Seattle will give up the draft picks that the Niners are going to want, because I'm assuming they are going to want some picks for that. And I don't think Seattle is going to part ways with that. So I think that's going to be kind of hard to find. Houston was one team I was kind of leaning towards, but they have three quarterbacks, and I don't know if they have any faith in the other two. And once again, the money is going to come into play. So Houston, they got Davis Mills, Kyle Allen, and Kevin Hogan. So if you bring in Jimmy G, you're basically saying you don't believe in any of those three. But that's a team, so I thought I'd keep my eye on as well. And then the possibility that the Niners just say, go out there, see what you can get, and they pretty much know he's not going to go anywhere, and they just keep him as insurance, because basically it's going to be the last year. Keep him as a backup just in case if Trey starts off on a sloppy or rocky start. And who knows? He may even just may beat him out. Jimmy G may beat him out in camp. So the Niners really got nothing to lose to me. So that's one. And I think Jimmy G is like $26 million on the cap.
Yeah. I think you're right.
So ain't many teams gonna have that, and not many teams gonna be able to have that flexibility.
Yeah.
This late.
Yeah. I think it is 26 million. Yeah, you're right about that. I don't think a lot of teams are gonna have that flexibility. I guess my first thought was Seattle could use them, but they don't have the cap room. Well, not the way with his contract is structured right now. Cleveland, I think, is the only team in the league right now, I think, that could take on his salary.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to come down, like you said, with it being kind of, what are we, a couple months away from the season starting.
Yeah, training camp
Yeah,
started.
I don't think that there are teams that are desperate. Like I think once you get into the season, quarterback, first week of the season, sometimes preseason,
Yep.
they get hurt. Your starting quarterback. But I just don't think that teams are that, looking for a quarterback right now. Not at this moment. I mean, even if you look at the Carolina situation and them adding Baker Mayfield to their team, a lot of that was kind of because the Browns agreed to pay most of his contract. I mean, it was kind of like a no-brainer. You had to do that.
Yeah, and I think Baker gave away $2 million or something for that, so they basically got him for cheap.
Right. So I mean, that was you had to pull the trigger on that deal, in my opinion. And I'll just say this: I mean, in the stat-driven era that we are for sports right now, for as much as Jimmy G has made me cringe with some of his throws, with when he passes the ball, Jimmy G since 2017 has the 5th best winning percentage behind some of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. I'm talking, this is in order: Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Lamar Jackson. And you know who's 6 on that list?
Who's that?
Aaron Rodgers, behind Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I'm ready, I think, for the Trey Lance era in San Francisco. But a part of me is saying, boy, I hope if we do end up trading him that it doesn't come back to haunt us. But I do feel like the 49ers are in control. I mean, the headline says they gave him permission to seek a trade on the rare occasion that he something happens with Trey Lance and he gets off to a rocky start. I mean, if you look at Jimmy's numbers, why would you not put him back in there? The bigger question is, does Jimmy G want to play for the 49ers?
Yeah, that is a question to be asked.
They haven't been the most loyal, at least if you look at the headlines. I know we're not behind the scenes, but they haven't been the most loyal organization to him, commitment wise. So,
well, I would say is that, well, like you said, the team is in the driver's seat, but if the Niners are going to do that and say, okay, Jimmy, go about your business, do whatever you want, and then they have the rookie quarterback in there, Trey Lance, then you need to give him all the tools he needs, and you need to give Debo his money so he can have his best player in person to throw the ball to for your young quarterback.
Agreed.
Yeah, so
Agreed. Yeah. I'm
a little confused on what they're actually doing there. So it kind of got me in between.
Yeah, I wonder if that's just, that stuff that we don't see, agent making some demands, trying to get the best for his player or players. And, but I do not see the Niners not taking care of Debo Samuels.
Yeah.
I think like you said, you have to give your young quarterback all the tools to fully evaluate. You can't, you can't go out there and call yourself a handyman. You don't got tools in your tool belt.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the only way they're gonna see if Trey Lance is gonna be their quarterback of the future. You have to give him all the tools. You have to give him a fair shake, like you gave Garoppolo.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see how it pans out. But like I said, man, I hope we don't end up, that kind of that grass is greener on the other side type of type of effect, if we do decide to trade him.
Yeah. Yep. The Niners. Yep. 49ers. Yep.
So we'll see. They, that go back to when they decided to let Joe Montana go, and they couldn't beat him when Joe Montana went to Kansas City.
Kansas City, yeah.
We let Joe Montana go for Steve Young. I mean, it panned out for us. We did get a Super Bowl ring out of it, but it was looking kind of dicey there for a little bit.
Definitely was. Oh, back in the day, yep.
So it's something to keep our eye out on.
Yeah, definitely.
Staying other NFL news, Los Angeles Rams defensive lineman Bobby Brown has been suspended 6 games for violating the NFL policy on performance-enhancing substances. I guess the question here is, why do players continue to take these substances, knowing that, and substances and chances, knowing that it could affect their health, their salary, and especially if they get caught.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Bobby Brown, it's his own prerogative. He can do what he want to do, but
right.
But yeah, there's a cause and there's an effect on everything you do. And but on a serious note, because it happens so often and so many times, there are some players that legitimately just need help. They just need help. They have a serious problem and they need all the resources they can to get the help. Then there's some players, they need to look at the environment that they're in. They need to look at the people they are surrounding themselves with, because the way I look at it is like me and you are best friends. So if I see my best friend, I'm just going to use, I don't know, weed. We'll use weed. Yeah. So weed. You see me using weed and something like this can cause me to lose my occupation of something that I'm doing in sports, losing my money, which in effect cause dominoes effect. A true friend was going to be like, yeah, no, you're not doing this. Get out of here. Yeah.
Right.
They're going to stop you. But if you're hanging around friends and they letting you do this or doing it with you and encouraging you, they're not friends. They're really not. They're just people hanging around you, going along for the ride. So some people that this happened to, they really just need to look at their environment and their friends that they're surrounding themselves with. So that's just kind of the way it is.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. At the end of the day, right, the saying is, or as Aaron would like to say, it's always about the money, right? Yep. So you don't want to do anything that could hurt yourself financially. A lot of these players have families, friends, as well as themselves, right? Mm-hmm. They have talent, best talent in the world. They want to make the best of their talent, and they feel that they should be paid for their talent. I guess, right now it's not known what the substance was that he tested positive for. Mm-hmm. And I feel like since he did get suspended 6 games, what it was may not come out. Mm-hmm. It may have been some type of performance enhancing drug. I know steroids is not the word that's used now, but I'll just say that these players, not only NFL players but all athletes, always looking for that competitive edge.
And throw something in there, T. With this being 6 games, NFL, he has gotten a warning before this that they just keep to themselves, and then you fail again, then it's out there. So
that's key.
Yeah.
So like you said, is it a problem?
Yeah.
is it a situation where you're putting yourself in situations that are causing, again, issues or effects that right now is going to affect you financially.
Yeah.
You know, if you need help, again, I say never be too proud to ask for help.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Never.
But needless to say, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and just say, all athletes are looking for a competitive edge.
Mm-hmm.
You ask me myself if I can get something done at my job in 20 minutes, of course, doing it the right way versus 2 hours. I'm gonna look to see what that's all about. You know what I mean? But I would just say that the nutrition plans that these guys are on, the supplements, that they take are way more advanced than say 20 years ago. The world of sports is tough, especially in the NFL. You miss a couple of games and somebody that's filling in your roster spot, if they do well, that you might get cut from the team, especially if that player is making less than you. So I feel like these guys are under a lot of pressure to perform, and not just perform on Sunday, to perform the next Sunday and come back and do it again, perform on Monday night. You know what I mean? So,
especially in football,
right.
Like you said, it's the next man up. You sit down for a couple of games and somebody else come in there and start doing well, and you can find yourself out. So
exactly. So, I'm not saying it's right, but I do acknowledge that the players are always looking to find ways to perform at their peak every time they step on the field. I guess for me, I would say, is it worth, risking your health, getting caught, and you're losing out on money?
6
anyway.
Games. Yeah, you talking about 6 games. So how much money is that?
Yeah, so again, like you said, get around a group of people that can influence you in positive ways. And at the end of the day, you want guys around you that are not yes men, but tell you to your face, hey, what you're doing is not right. That's what true friends are.
Yep. Sometimes truth hurts, but needs to be said. And especially when you got money and a true friend tell you the truth. That's a true friend.
That's the one you keep in your. Those are the ones you keep in your circle. So, but again, we'll see. Maybe we'll see. I'm under the impression that this stays under wraps. As far as what the substance was, but maybe the news will come out. So we'll just have to stay tuned with that.
Yeah, see if he appeal it. Maybe try to get it down to 4 games, but we'll see.
Like you said, if this is second time, I don't really feel like the NFL is gonna give any leeway. But we'll see. See what the players' union decides. See if he does appeal it. But moving on to the NBA, Mr. James Harden signed a 2-year deal, worth $68 million. The question is, I know he did take a pay cut, but I think the bigger question, I think he took like a $14 million pay cut, which kind of raised some eyebrows, like you just did there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the bigger question is, do you think he'll come into this season in the best shape of his life and earn those $68 million?
I think he has to, basically. Only having 2 years on it is basically time to show out now. You got to put all the hard work in, whether you was slacking or in halfway or injured. But now the proof is in the pudding, because being on that team, expectations are they expect to win a championship. That's why they brought him there. That's why they made the trade for him. And to me, I think it was a hard stand that I thought the Sixers made. They didn't fold and give him a long-term contract. Even I thought 4 years would have been too long. They did not do that. Harden, I think, either realized or agent may have told him, market is not looking real strong for you if you go out there and test it. Because like you said, he had 46 mil that he opted out of to take. What did he take? 68 mil?
68
for 2. So
yep,
yeah,
for 2.
Yeah, so he basically lost money on that. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how it all plays out. I want to see how the whole trade in its entirety plays out, because we have yet to see Ben Simmons play. Harden came to the Sixers not in the best shape. So now going into this next season, we'll get to see and evaluate who got the better of this trade, really, to me.
Right.
Yeah, because you you got rid of a young Ben Simmons. You brought in James Harden to make the playoffs, make a championship run, and we'll see if they do it.
Right. So I guess feel like even though he probably won't admit it, he's hearing the noise, the chatter in the media, the things that are kind of being said about him, him being out of shape, him not performing at the James Harden level that we've seen him prior to coming to the Nets and then eventually getting traded to the Sixers. I think he's heard that noise. I do agree with you. I think his agent probably had sat him down, nice heart-to-heart talk, and said, "Hey, market's not really warm right now." I think if you look at what happened, the situation with Kyrie Irving, I think that might have had something to do with it too.
Yeah.
But I think he will come into good shape coming into the season. That, and I think he's got something to prove, just based off of what's being said about him. I like the way that he did structure his contract, or his contract is structured, just because it gave Philly some flexibility to ask some free agents, like PJ Tucker, who brings a defensive presence to the team. I'm not saying that PJ Tucker will shut down another team's best player, but he can get under their skin, bother them a little bit. So I like that. I like the fact that they added he came from the Grizzlies, point guard, I believe DeAndre Melton.
Yeah.
He's a shooter.
Yeah.
Someone that can step in, maybe along side Tyrese Maxey, and get some quality minutes at the point guard position. And he can score too. He's a shooter. He can put the ball in the hoop. So, I wonder, over the next 2 years, it's going to be interesting to see the way his contract is structured. And I think he does have a player option too, but within these 2 years, is that enough? The addition of these free agents along with Joel Embiid, and just say you have James Harden that is returned back to James Harden form. Can this get them over the hump? Can they get to the finals in one of these 2 years?
Yeah, and to what you were saying about the money, and giving the team the flexibility. I thought I agree with that, but I don't really see as of now, because all the free agencies are pretty much gone. That moved the needle anyway. Tucker, I thought it was good, but I don't see that really moving them one way or another. To me, I don't.
Yeah.
He's a step up from Thibault. He can kind of shoot from the corners. Thibault couldn't shoot at all, so that kind of did hurt them. But Tucker, I think, is getting up in age. Like I said, I don't see him moving the needle. He can't handle the ball, so that's one person on the wing who can't really be a threat with the ball. So you put more Harden and Maxey to handle the ball and create for everybody out there. But so I would say, let me ask you a question. Would you say Harden? Do you suspect Harden will be, I'm just going to say, the second best player on the team?
That's what I would expect from him. Just based off of what I've seen, like I said before, prior to him getting to the Nets and being in Houston. What I expect out of him this coming into this season, I expect him to be in the best shape of his career or early career, back to where he was early in his career. I'm expecting him to get to the free throw line a lot more this year. I'm expecting him to adjust to the way the referees are calling the game. And they, how they called it last year. I'm expecting him to make that adjustment. I'm expecting him to be a little bit more explosive. I don't think he was that explosive this year. But again, $68 million, what is that? 30 something mil over 2 years is not, that's not chump change. So if I'm Philly, that's why I brought you in, to be, if not the number one player on the team. But behind Joel Embiid, Joel needed a number two, given the whole Ben Simmons situation. So that's why he was brought there to be the number two guy. So I'm expecting that. I don't expect anything less. There is not another player that, if you go down the roster, that I say should be better than James Harden.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Yeah. And if there is, would you say he is what he is then after that? He's not a superstar?
I would say he is what he is. He's a star. He's not a superstar in the league anymore. And you've basically, what you see is what you get out of James Harden. If his performance doesn't improve this year, he's at his max potential. Some people say he's slowed down. We'll see if that's the case coming into this season.
So let's get this on record then. Who you say have a better season? Simmons, Harden?
Oof, man, that's tough. We haven't seen Ben Simmons play in a year. I mean, and if you want to take it back to the playoffs,
forgot how his game was. You can't remember. But.
Yeah, when he didn't want to shoot the ball. So, wow. Ben Simmons coming off back surgery. I'll go with Harden. Ben Simmons is coming off back surgery. I believe it will take Ben Simmons at least a full year to be what he was in Philly prior to, what was that, 2021. Even before that time, he wasn't at his full potential. So I'll go James Harden.
I'm gonna go Ben Simmons.
Okay.
Reason why I think Kyrie and KD are not going to wind up getting moved. Ben is going to be playing with them, which will lighten the load for him in that way. Because if they don't, playing in New York, and he don't shoot the ball, he'll get ran out of New York. So, but I think
Real
he'd be
quick.
playing with KD and them.
Wow. Okay, so you think it's kind of looking like that. It's kind of looking like the market, especially after that DeAndre Ayton signing,
Yeah.
that KD doesn't have a destination to go to. It's looking like the plans are falling apart for Kyrie getting to the Lakers. Sorry about that, Emerson, but
Yeah.
I hate to shatter your dreams, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Man, can you ever think of a player who had that much talent in his prime? I'm talking about Kyrie Irving, and you can't really move him.
Wow.
If you say
Oh,
anybody else, if you say in the open market, he was out there. Oh, everybody be on him.
Yeah,
but,
I can't really think. Not with that much talent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's box office. You know what I mean? If you pay the money to go see him, he's playing. And I say, if he's playing, you will get your money's worth. You will see a show.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I was just thinking that, man. I can't think of a player that had that much talent, and they put him out there. You really couldn't get people to take him.
Yeah,
in that capacity.
It goes back to Malcolm saying, man, your best ability is availability.
Yeah, yep, got that right.
But yeah, I mean, I think I just feel like James Harden, he better come in with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove.
Yeah, he got everything to prove, money wise, career wise. Yeah, and Philly is rough too.
And yeah, not only Philly, but let's not forget, Joel Embiid will let you know too.
Yeah, that's true
that you
too.
are not doing your job. He has no problem doing that. So we'll see how that plays out. One thing that I wanted to touch on, since we're talking about contracts, off NBA topic, but Kyler Murray got signed a big deal today.
Oh, he did.
He got a 5-year deal or 5-year extension worth $230.5 million. This deal makes him one of the highest paid quarterbacks in.
Did you say 5 years? How much? 230?
230.
They say how much is guaranteed?
160 mil is guaranteed for if he gets injured. He gets 160 mil of that
money. 160 mil out of 230. Yeah. So, well, yeah, for him, yeah, that's good.
He'll get 105 million fully guaranteed once he signs the deal.
That's a big step up from what he's making, but that's really that's kind of a double-edged sword. But he is kind of injury prone. But 105 mil guarantee. Hopefully he can stay healthy and get most of that. Anyway, but yeah.
I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I say the Cardinals played hardball with him.
Yeah.
And
he still had I think he still had a couple of years on his contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good for them, cap wise, because that's kind of cheap for today's market.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's good for him. Yeah, he get his money, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt. So.
Yeah. So he'll be the second highest.
Must be the
paid quarterback behind Aaron Rodgers.
Must be the base salary, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, annual value. His deal is worth yearly 46.1 million. Aaron Rodgers is at 50.3 million.
Yeah, that's that. Aaron Rodgers just signed that one, right?
Yeah.
That 2 year, what they got, like 2 years, 100 mil or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because Deshaun Watson's at 46 mil, and then Patrick Mahomes is at 45.
Not bad
So,
being a quarterback.
no, not bad at all. I just hope he can stay healthy. Um, again, that's one of those situations where, as an organization, what's said at the table before that contract is negotiated, like, because Kyler Murray does like to get out of the pocket,
Yeah, he's not that big either.
Yeah, any given Sunday, you come out of that pocket, you can get blindsided, and then
come out that pocket, you lose your change. Like, knock it out.
That's, I hope it works out for him. They have a good team.
Yeah.
Last year I thought was their year, but he got hurt. I think
they lost.
They just couldn't. Yeah, and they just couldn't find their rhythm.
Yeah,
couldn't find their rhythm. Once he got back, so we'll see. He played hardball and it paid off. So.
Yep. And now Jimmy G gonna say, "I'm playing hardball."
Yeah. Yeah. I just think the only thing with that is the Niners are like, hey, you don't feel like playing hardball, we'll give you this wiffle ball, let you hit that.
Like, he got that much, and I've been to the playoff and Super Bowl. Ooh, give my money.
I mean, if you look at it, like I said, numbers wise, stats wise, he can command that type of money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he wins games.
Yep. Not like Kirk Cousins. Get all these big contracts and ain't do nothing. He barely make it to the playoffs. I don't know if he made it to playoffs.
Yeah.
Just like that. I don't think
he did, right?
Well, when the last time he been with Minnesota? I don't think so. I don't think Kirk Cousins made it with Minnesota. I have to check on that one. I don't think so. Because if they did, I'm thinking, who did they lose to? He was quarterbacking. To give that one some thought. Yeah.
It comes up. I mean, if I had to say, I would say Green Bay, just off the top of my head, but I'm not too sure about that. We'll see. See what happens. Training camp.
I think the last time they was in the was that when Diggs was on the team?
Yeah.
Was Kirk Cousins a quarterback then?
I think so. Because didn't Diggs make a big play?
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
All right. He made a big playoff game.
Okay.
So, but we'll see. Like you said, training camp's opening up.
Yep.
The how the season plays out, because it's a lot of big money thrown quarterbacks' way right now.
Yeah. So, a lot of young talent out there. We're expecting to make impacts on their teams too. So another thing.
So, well, back to the NBA. Want to congratulate the NBA Summer League champion, the Portland Trail Blazers, who beat my Knicks out. I thought, we could win something this year. We could brag about something, especially with this year being the first year that they gave out rings to the champion. So, but just didn't pan out for my Knicks.
Yeah, they gave it a good play. They did play well. The young talent that they did have out there. So they did play well. They didn't play too well that night, but I'm
happy with what I saw from the Knicks.
Yeah,
they showed they got some young guys that showed some potential. So
I seen Tibbs on the sideline, so hopefully he's seen the young talent out there and he will give them some run. Maybe have like a 10-man rotation and not 8.
Yeah.
To 80 plus games and burning everybody out.
Yep.
So, but that was good.
Play Tibbs.
And I like the way that Summer League did to about the rings. Also, they gave the teams rings.
Oh, you like? Yeah. So that was a question that I had. for the guys and you and the guys, but
Mhm.
is it worth the time and trouble for these young players to go out and try and win a championship ring in the summer league? Is it and do you think that that's something that as a player, as a rookie or second year player, that something that they should be able to brag about?
I thought so. To me, because I think what you're trying to do is give that mindset to the young talent right off the rip, coming into the league, that you want to go out and compete, and not only compete, but compete to try to win something. Not just go out there, score and not play. Some of them don't even play, but and also with the younger guys, it kind of gives you, because the summer league game has grown so much that it's become an event in its own. So
Exactly.
It's almost like winning a mini NBA championship. So it'd be like, oh, this is what it's like. You get competitive juices and you'd be like, well, now I want to win the whole damn thing. I want to go out and win an NBA championship. So I think it's good to have that competitiveness, to get that mindset into the players just coming into the league.
Yeah, see, that's a really good point. I really wasn't looking at that. I was kind of under that mindset that if I'm a team that drafted one of the top 3 or 4 players in the draft, say like a Banchero, you saw how Orlando 2 games they shut him down. They said, okay, we know what we have, and I'll give him a credit. I did watch him play in both of those games, and I'll say this: he played hard.
Yeah.
Like you said, some of these top guys go out, and do they really give it 100%? Knowing that they are that good when they were drafted top 5 in the league in the NBA draft. But he did, from what I saw, he played and he gave 100% effort. But I was just wondering, you get your guy, your top draft pick hurt. Is it worth it? Is it worth saying, well, I got a ring? But I do agree with you. You want to get those competitive juices flowing.
Yep.
You don't want them getting into that mindset of taking games off, because right now the NBA is not like it used to be, like 1 through 8, or all the teams in the league, especially the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to take a game off. I mean, I'll say this: the Western Conference has always been competitive, but the Eastern Conference now, you cannot afford to take a game off, or you could find yourself in the play-in or out of the play-in game.
Yeah. Yep.
So you make a good point. I do agree with you. It is good to get their juices flowing, wanting to win and compete each and every night. So and we also want to say congratulations to Keegan Murray from the Sacramento Kings, who won the Summer League MVP. Again, another talent, potential talent. Bring your popcorn, get your popcorn ready player. He has that much potential. So
I kind of like the team that they got out there in Seattle. I'm in Sacramento.
They I was a little surprised at some of the trades they made last season. I was kind of like, what are they doing? But they're putting together some talent, some young talent. We just got to see how it pans out. Again, that Western Conference is tough. It's tough.
Yeah, tough.
But we'll see. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up our show tonight. Again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We want to say to Emerson, Aaron, and Malcolm, we missed you, but we held it down for you guys. We hope we made you proud. And thank everybody for tuning in and listening and jumping in the chat.
Yes, definitely. We will see you again next week. We'll do it again, and we'll see what's popping in sports. And like T said, thanks to all the viewers. Be sure to hit that subscribe and that notification bell, and that way you get informed when we're back on the air.
Yep, and next week we'll definitely have our swag back because Emerson will be back in the building.
All right. So good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Be safe. Stay cool.
Yeah,
Out there.
Stay cool.